Time travel. It's a concept that has fascinated us for centuries. From science fiction to groundbreaking theories in physics, the idea of bending time and exploring different eras has captured our imagination. But what if time travel wasn't just a fantasy? What if some of the wildest theories actually held the key to unlocking the impossible? In this video, we'll dive into 10 crazy time travel theories that could be real, exploring mind-bending possibilities that challenge everything we know about space, time, and the universe itself. Let's get started. Wormholes as time machines. Imagine this, a tunnel connecting two far-flung points in space and time, like an interdimensional shortcut that bends reality itself. This is the idea behind wormholes, often referred to as bridges in the universe. What if you could hop in one end and instantly travel across time as well as space? Sounds wild, right? According to the theory, if you could somehow manipulate a wormhole by speeding up one end to near light speed or placing it near a supermassive black hole, you'd create a time discrepancy between the two ends. Essentially, you'd be stepping through a time portal. But here's the kicker. These cosmic passages would need something called exotic matter with negative energy to keep them open and stable. Without that, they'd collapse faster than you can say time traveler. While wormholes haven't been observed yet, the math checks out. Could they really exist out there in the cosmos, just waiting to be discovered? If they do, they might hold the key to bending time itself, an absolute game changer for how we view the universe and the possibilities of time travel. The many worlds interpretation. What if every choice you make, every action you take creates a new universe, a parallel reality where things unfold differently? Sounds like a plot twist from a sci-fi show, right? But this is at the heart of the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. Imagine this. Every time a decision happens, instead of just one outcome, all possibilities come to life in separate universes. If you traveled back in time and changed something significant, like preventing an accident or altering a conversation, this wouldn't erase your original timeline. Instead, a whole new branch of reality would split off, with its own version of events. So, in a way, time travel could create an infinite web of alternate realities, each one a potential what-if scenario. The fascinating part, according to this theory, the universe isn't a singular, linear path, it's an ever-growing multiverse. Could time travel let us peek into these alternate worlds, exploring the countless what-could-have-been versions of our reality? Now that's a mind-bending thought. Closed time-like curves. Picture this. You could step into a loop of time where the past, present, and future aren't as separate as we think. This mind-bending idea comes from the concept of closed time-like curves, CTCs. In simple terms, CTCs are like pathways in space-time that loop back on themselves. If you could travel along one of these curves, you'd essentially end up at the point in time where you started, allowing you to revisit and even influence past events. Sounds like a paradox in the making, right? The cool part is that CTCs are theoretically possible within the framework of general relativity, thanks to the way space-time can bend and twist under extreme conditions. But here's the catch. Creating such a loop requires conditions that are beyond our current capabilities, like enormous amounts of energy or the presence of exotic matter. Still, the idea is tantalizing. Could there be hidden loops in the fabric of space-time just waiting for someone, or something, to step into them and relive history? Maybe time travel isn't as impossible as it seems after all. Cosmic strings. Imagine a thread so thin, yet so incredibly powerful, it could stretch across the entire universe. These are cosmic strings, hypothetical one-dimensional defects in space-time that could act as time travel conduits. According to some scientists, if two cosmic strings were to pass each other at enormous speeds, the gravitational energy released would warp space-time dramatically, potentially creating a rip in time. This rip could allow someone to travel through time, sort of like hitching a ride on a cosmic highway. The intriguing part? These cosmic strings are believed to have been formed during the early moments of the universe, which means they might already be out there, waiting to be discovered. The big question is, can we ever harness them? The idea is still very much in the realm of theory, and we've yet to detect a cosmic string in the wild. But if they do exist, they could offer an entirely new way to experience time travel. It's a wild thought. Could a mere strand of space-time be the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe? Tipler cylinder. Now, imagine a giant, infinitely long cylinder spinning at a speed near the speed of light. It sounds like the stuff of science fiction, right? But this is the idea behind the Tipler cylinder, a concept proposed by physicist Frank J. Tipler. According to his theory, if you could somehow create such a massive, rapidly rotating cylinder, it could warp spacetime around it in a way that forms a time loop. By traveling along the right path near this spinning cylinder, you could theoretically travel backward or forward in time. It's like using the cylinder's rotation to pull you through time itself. But here's the catch. Constructing a Tipler cylinder would require an unimaginable amount of energy and mass, way beyond anything we could currently manage. Plus, there's the issue of finding a material that could withstand the extreme forces at play. Still, the idea is fascinating. Could a colossal spinning object really open a portal to time travel? If it could be built, it might just be the key to bending time in ways we've only dreamed of. Quantum entanglement and time travel. Picture this. Two particles, separated by vast distances, instantly influencing each other's state no matter how far apart they are. This is quantum entanglement, a bizarre phenomenon that has scientists scratching their heads. But what if this strange property of quantum physics could be the key to time travel? Some theories suggest that entangled particles could potentially send information backward or forward in time. If you were able to manipulate these particles, think of them as tiny time travelers, you could, in theory, transmit data to the past or future. Imagine sending a message or even a signal through time by exploiting entanglement. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but the possibilities are mind-blowing. The catch? Quantum entanglement itself is incredibly fragile, and its use for time travel is purely theoretical at this point. But the mere thought of particles existing in a state where they're connected across time, well, that alone opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. Could we ever unlock the power of quantum entanglement to jump through time? Only time will tell. The grandfather paradox. Imagine traveling back in time and accidentally preventing your grandfather from meeting your grandmother. Now, this might sound like a small change, but think about the consequences. If your grandparents never met, your parents wouldn't have been born. And if your parents weren't born, neither would you. This creates a classic time travel dilemma called the grandfather paradox. It's a mind-bending contradiction. If you were never born, how could you have traveled back in time to stop your grandparents from meeting in the first place? This paradox has stumped scientists and philosophers for years, sparking endless debates about the nature of time travel. Some theorists suggest that the universe would self-correct to preserve its own consistency, meaning that even if you tried to change something critical, the events would unfold in a way that still keeps your existence intact. Others argue that changing the past is simply impossible, and no matter how hard you try, things would always work out to keep you in the timeline. The grandfather paradox may never have a clear answer, but it raises one big question. If time travel is real, are there rules we can't break no matter what? The bootstrap paradox. Here's a mind-bender for you. Imagine you travel back in time and hand Shakespeare a copy of his own works, telling him to publish them. He does, and they end up back in your hands, which inspires you to go back in time and give them to him again. Wait a minute, who wrote Shakespeare's works in the first place? This is the essence of the bootstrap paradox, where an object or piece of information exists without ever having been created. It's a self-sustaining loop with no clear origin. Think of it like a time-traveling riddle, something that exists because it was passed back and forth through time, but without a starting point. The paradox raises some fascinating questions about causality and the nature of time itself. How can something exist if there's no original creator? It challenges everything we think we know about cause and effect. While the bootstrap paradox is still a theoretical concept, it sparks a deeper conversation. Could time travel allow us to create infinite loops of knowledge, ideas, or even objects with no clear beginning or end? The very thought opens up endless possibilities for what time travel could mean for the flow of time. Time dilation and time travel. Imagine this. You're on a spaceship traveling near the speed of light, zipping through space at incredible speeds. Now back on Earth, time continues to tick away at its usual pace, but for you aboard the spaceship, time moves much slower. This is time dilation, a phenomenon predicted by Einstein's theory of relativity. As you approach the speed of light, time stretches and slows down relative to the outside world. So if you were to spend just a few years on that high-speed journey, by the time you return, centuries might have passed on Earth. It's like a cosmic time travel experience, where you get to leap into the future without ever aging significantly. While it's not quite the back-in-time travel many of us dream about, it's a form of time travel that's based on real science. The catch? Reaching those near-light speeds requires more energy than we can currently harness, not to mention the intense forces at play on the human body. But the concept of time dilation is already being observed with satellites and astronauts, albeit on a much smaller scale. If we could crack the code to faster-than-light travel, time dilation could become the ultimate way to travel across centuries in the blink of an eye. Time travel via black holes. Picture this: a massive spinning black hole, so dense and powerful that it distorts everything around it, space, time, and even light itself. But what if black holes, long thought of as cosmic destroyers, could actually be portals to time travel? This mind-blowing idea is rooted in the theory of general relativity. As matter falls into a black hole, it gets stretched and squeezed to the point where the fabric of space-time warps around it. At the event horizon, the point of no return, time itself begins to behave differently. For an outside observer, time slows down drastically near a black hole, but for someone falling into it, they might experience time differently, potentially even traveling into the future. Some scientists propose that if you could somehow avoid being crushed by the immense gravitational forces and pass through the event horizon, you might emerge in a different time altogether, perhaps even in another era of the universe. It's all speculative, of course, and entering a black hole could spell certain death with current technology, but the concept raises a tantalizing possibility. Could black holes be the ultimate cosmic time machines, connecting us to distant futures, or even parallel timelines, just waiting for someone to explore them? If you enjoyed exploring these mind-blowing time travel theories, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more fascinating content on futuristic technologies and the mysteries of the universe. We're just scratching the surface of what's possible, so stay tuned for more deep dives into the world of science and innovation. Got any time travel theories of your own? Drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching. What if I told you Earth isn't the best place to live? Out there in the vastness of space, scientists have found exoplanets that might be even more habitable than our own. Planets with endless oceans, glowing red skies, and maybe even alien life. But could we ever move there? And what if something is already calling them home? Stick around as we explore 8 exoplanets that could be more habitable than Earth. Kepler 452b. Imagine a planet that's been chilling in the habitable zone for 1.5 billion years longer than Earth. That's Kepler 452b, often called Earth's cousin, and for good reason. It's about 60% larger than our planet, meaning gravity would be slightly stronger, but hey, that's just an excuse to get those intergalactic gains, right? Now here's where things get interesting. Kepler 452b orbits a sun-like star, and it's smack dab in the Goldilocks zone, the region where liquid water could exist. You know what that means? This planet might have rivers, oceans, and maybe even life. Scientists believe its atmosphere could be thicker than Earth's, making it better at trapping heat, so, technically, it could be even more habitable than our home. But there's a catch. It's 1,400 light-years away. That's so far that if aliens from Kepler 452b watched Earth through a super telescope, they'd be seeing the year 624 AD right now. Wild, right? So, could we ever move there? Well, unless we figure out faster-than-light travel, it's not happening anytime soon. But Kepler 452b is proof that planets like Earth exist out there. Kepler 442b. What if I told you there's a planet that might actually be more habitable than Earth? Meet Kepler 442b, a super-Earth located 1,206 light-years away. It's about 33% larger than Earth, meaning it has more room for potential life, bigger oceans, and maybe even thicker forests if life exists there. Now here's where things get mind-blowing. Scientists say Kepler 442b scores higher on the habitability index than Earth itself. Why? Well, first, it orbits a much cooler and longer-lasting star, meaning life there could thrive for billions of years more than on Earth. Plus, its position in the habitable zone is almost perfect, meaning it gets just the right amount of sunlight to support liquid water, a key ingredient for life. And get this, since Kepler 442b is rocky and not too big, its gravity would be similar to Earth's. No weird bone-crushing forces or moon-like jumps. If humans ever made it there, we might actually feel at home. But there's a catch because of course there is. It's super far away, making travel almost impossible with today's tech. But who knows? Maybe one day future explorers will land on Kepler 442b and find something waiting for them. Kepler 62f. Imagine a planet 40% larger than Earth, orbiting a distant star 1,200 light-years away. Now picture it covered in vast oceans, endless clouds, and maybe even alien islands. That's Kepler 62f, one of the most promising exoplanets for habitability, and possibly life. What makes Kepler 62f so special? First off, it's in the perfect spot, the habitable zone of its star, where temperatures could allow liquid water to exist. And here's the wild part. Scientists believe it might be a water world, a planet almost entirely covered by oceans, stretching for thousands of miles in every direction. Imagine deep, dark waters hiding unknown creatures, or maybe even intelligent life swimming beneath the waves. But here's where it gets eerie. Kepler 62f orbits a much cooler, dimmer star than our Sun. This means its daylight might be soft and red, casting long shadows over its endless seas. It also means that, if any life exists there, it might have evolved very differently from what we know. Could we live there? Possibly. If it has land or if we build floating cities, Kepler 62f could be humanity's ultimate oceanic escape. But one thing's for sure, if something's already lurking in those waters, we might not be alone when we get there. Kepler 186f. What if there was a planet just like Earth, but with a red sky and an alien sun? That's Kepler 186f, the first ever Earth-sized exoplanet found in a star's habitable zone. If we could visit, it might feel eerily familiar, yet totally alien. Kepler 186f is about 500 light-years away, and is almost exactly the same size as Earth. That's rare. Most exoplanets we find are either way too big or too small, but this one? It's just right. And because it's in the habitable zone, temperatures might allow liquid water, meaning life could exist there. But here's the twist. Kepler 186f orbits a red dwarf star, not a sun-like star like ours. So what does that mean? Well, the sky wouldn't be blue, it would be red or orange. The plants? They might not even be green. Scientists believe that on planets around red dwarfs, plants could absorb different kinds of light, making them black, purple, or even blood red. Imagine walking through an alien jungle under a dim reddish sky. Spooky, right? The biggest challenge? Red dwarfs are notoriously violent, throwing out powerful solar flares. If Kepler 186f doesn't have a strong atmosphere, it could be a dead world. But if it does, it could be the most Earth-like planet we've ever found. TRAPPIST-1e. Alright, imagine a planet the same size as Earth, in the perfect spot for life, part of a system with not one, not two, but 7 Earth-like planets. Welcome to TRAPPIST-1e, one of the most exciting exoplanets ever discovered. TRAPPIST-1e orbits a red dwarf star, just 40 light-years away, which in cosmic terms is practically next door. It's almost the exact size and mass of Earth, meaning gravity would feel normal, and if it has an atmosphere it could hold on to liquid water. That's huge. Scientists even believe TRAPPIST-1e might have an Earth-like climate, making it one of the best candidates for habitability. Now here's where things get weird. A year on TRAPPIST-1e is only 6 days long. Yup, 6 days. That means its star looks way bigger in the sky than our sun does, and days might last forever, literally. Because of a phenomenon called tidal locking, one side of the planet always faces the star, while the other is stuck in eternal darkness. The best place to live? Right on the twilight zone where light and dark meet, creating an eerie, endless sunset. Could we move there? If TRAPPIST-1e has an atmosphere and water, it might just be the best place for humans outside our solar system. Proxima Centauri b. If Earth ever becomes unlivable, where do we go? Well, Proxima Centauri b might be our best shot. Why? Because it's the closest exoplanet to us, just 4.24 light-years away. In cosmic terms, that's practically next door. If we develop ultra-fast space travel, this could be humanity's first real chance at colonizing another planet. So what's it like? Proxima Centauri b is about 1.3 times the mass of Earth, and orbits in the habitable zone of its star, meaning it could have liquid water. Scientists believe it's rocky, which makes it even more promising. But here's the weird part. A year here lasts only 11 days. Yup, the planet whips around its star way faster than Earth does, but there's a catch. A big one. Proxima Centauri is a red dwarf, and not just any red dwarf, it's a wild one. It throws out violent solar flares that could strip away an atmosphere. If Proxima b doesn't have a strong magnetic field, it might be a barren wasteland instead of a second Earth. Still, the fact that the closest star to us has a planet that could support life, that's huge. If we ever get serious about interstellar travel, Proxima Centauri b might just be our first stop. LHS 1140b. If Earth ever becomes uninhabitable, we might need a backup planet, one that's big, rocky, and stable. Well, meet LHS 1140b, a super-Earth that checks a lot of those boxes. It's about 1.6 times the size of Earth, but here's the kicker, it's 6.5 times heavier. That means it's dense, possibly packed with metal and rock, and could have a strong atmosphere, a crucial ingredient for life. LHS 1140b orbits a quiet red dwarf star about 40 light-years away. Unlike many red dwarfs that blast their planets with deadly radiation, this one seems calm and stable, giving life a much better chance. And the best part? It sits right in the habitable zone, meaning if it has an atmosphere, liquid water could exist on the surface. But here's where things get really wild. Because it's so massive, its gravity would be nearly 3 times stronger than Earth's. Walking there would feel like you're wearing a 100-pound backpack at all times. That means any life that evolved on LHS 1140b would likely be short, stocky, and incredibly strong. Imagine hulking alien creatures adapted to their high-gravity world. Yeah, we're definitely not arm wrestling them. Could humans survive there? If we can handle the gravity, LHS 1140b might just be one of the most promising exoplanets for colonization. But what if someone's already there? Wolf 1061c. Imagine a world 4 times the mass of Earth, sitting in the habitable zone of its star, where temperatures could allow for oceans, forests, and maybe even alien civilizations. That's Wolf 1061c, an exoplanet just 14 light-years away, one of the closest potentially habitable planets we've ever found. Now, here's where things get really strange. Wolf 1061c orbits a red dwarf star, which means its sky might be bathed in an eerie red glow, making everything look surreal. And because it's so close to its star, it might be tidally locked. One side forever scorched in daylight, the other trapped in eternal darkness. The only livable area, the twilight zone, where day and night meet, creating a never-ending sunset. But there's a mystery. Scientists believe Wolf 1061c may have gone through a greenhouse effect like Venus, meaning it could be a steaming, uninhabitable wasteland. Or it might be just right with a thick atmosphere and liquid water, we just don't know yet. Could it support life? Maybe, if it has a stable climate and an atmosphere thick enough to shield it from deadly solar radiation, Wolf 1061c could be one of the best places for us to settle outside our solar system. So could one of these exoplanets be our next home, or are we truly alone in the universe? As technology advances, we're getting closer to answering these questions. But until then, the possibilities are endless. Which of these exoplanets fascinates you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you love exploring the future of science and space, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech. What if I told you that most of the universe is invisible? That out there, beyond the glittering stars and galaxies, lie vast, terrifying regions of darkness. Places where the laws of physics seem to break, where entire galaxies vanish, and where unseen forces pull us toward an unknown fate. Scientists have discovered some of the most bizarre, mind-bending mysteries hidden in the darkest corners of space. From enormous voids to invisible matter and forces we can't explain. What's really lurking in the cosmic shadows? Buckle up, because today we're diving into the deepest, darkest secrets of the universe. The Boots Void. Imagine looking into the night sky and finding absolutely nothing. No stars, no galaxies, just a vast, eerie emptiness. That's exactly what astronomers found in 1981 when they discovered the Boots Void, one of the largest and most baffling empty spaces in the known universe. This void, spanning nearly 330 million light-years, is so massive that if the Milky Way were placed inside, it would still seem like a tiny speck. Now here's the creepy part. This isn't just a dark region of space where there are fewer stars, it's an area where there should be thousands of galaxies. But instead there are only a handful. Scientists call it a supervoid, but even that term doesn't fully explain how something this enormous and empty could exist. Some theories suggest it formed due to smaller voids merging over billions of years, creating a cosmic desert. but others believe something even more mysterious is at play. Could this void be evidence of something beyond our understanding of physics? Some speculative ideas even suggest advanced extraterrestrial civilizations could have engineered such a void by harvesting galaxies for energy. It sounds like science fiction, but the truth is, we have no definitive explanation. Whatever caused it, one thing is clear. The Booty's Void is one of the greatest enigmas of the cosmos. A place so vast and silent it challenges everything we know about how galaxies form and the large-scale structure of the universe. If there's anything lurking inside, we may never know. Dark matter. Right now you're surrounded by invisible matter. You can't see it, touch it, or interact with it in any way, but it's there. Scientists call it dark matter, and it makes up about 27% of the universe. Yet no one knows what it really is. Here's the weird part. If you remove all the stars, planets, and galaxies from the universe, more than 80% of its total mass would still be left behind. This hidden mass is what holds everything together. Without dark matter, galaxies would fall apart because they rotate too fast for their visible mass to keep them intact. It's like some invisible glue is keeping the cosmos from unraveling. But if it's so important, why can't we see it? Well, dark matter doesn't emit, reflect, or absorb light, meaning our telescopes are completely blind to it. Scientists have only been able to detect its presence indirectly through gravitational effects on visible matter. It's like watching trees sway without seeing the wind. And here's where things get even stranger. We have no idea what dark matter is made of. Some theories suggest it could be made of yet undiscovered particles, while others propose it might be linked to an entirely new dimension of physics. Some even wonder if we're looking at the problem all wrong and that gravity itself needs to be redefined. The search for dark matter is one of the biggest scientific mysteries of our time, and solving it could unlock secrets about the fate of the universe itself. But until then, we're left wondering, what is this ghostly presence lurking in the shadows of space? Dark energy. For the longest time, scientists believed that gravity would slow down the expansion of the universe, maybe even stop it completely one day. But in 1998, astronomers made a shocking discovery. Instead of slowing down, the universe's expansion is actually speeding up. Something unseen is pushing galaxies apart at an accelerating rate, as if some mysterious force is actively stretching space itself. They call this force dark energy, and it's even stranger than dark matter. In fact, dark energy makes up a whopping 68% of the universe, meaning most of what exists is something we can't see, touch, or explain. Think of it like this. If the universe were a balloon, dark energy is like an invisible force making it expand faster and faster over time. But here's the catch. We have no idea what dark energy actually is. Some theories suggest it's a property of empty space itself, while others propose that it could be some unknown repulsive force woven into the fabric of reality. But what does this mean for the future? If dark energy continues its relentless expansion, galaxies will drift further apart, stars will burn out, and the universe could eventually become a cold, empty void. Scientists call this terrifying scenario the Big Freeze, a future where everything is too far apart to interact, leaving the cosmos in an eternal lifeless darkness. Right now, dark energy remains one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in physics. It's not just an invisible force, it's the key to understanding the fate of the entire universe. The more we learn about it, the more unsettling it becomes. Is dark energy something natural, or are we witnessing the workings of something far beyond our comprehension? The cosmic microwave background. The cosmic microwave background is often called the echo of the Big Bang, a faint radiation spread across the universe that tells the story of how everything began. But buried within this ancient light is something scientists can't fully explain: the cold spot. Unlike the rest of the CMB, which is fairly uniform, this region is noticeably colder and emptier than expected. And we're not talking about a small difference, it's billions of light years across. Some scientists think it might be a supervoid, an area with far fewer galaxies than normal, causing the light traveling through it to lose energy. But here's where things get creepy. The cold spot is so large and so strange that some physicists believe it could be evidence of something beyond our universe. One mind-bending theory suggests it might be the scar left behind by another universe colliding with ours. Yes, a literal bruise from another reality. If true, this would be the first actual evidence of the multiverse. Other ideas suggest it could be a statistical fluke, but the chances of that are incredibly low. Scientists have been scratching their heads over this mystery for years, and despite all our advancements in cosmology, we still don't have a solid answer. Is the cold spot just a weird quirk of the cosmos, or could it be a window into something far bigger than we ever imagined? Dark galaxies. When you picture a galaxy, you probably imagine something like the Milky Way, a swirling collection of billions of stars, glowing clouds of gas, and bright cosmic fireworks. But not all galaxies shine. Some are nearly invisible, composed mostly of dark matter with barely any stars to light them up. Scientists call these eerie, starless entities dark galaxies. One of the most famous examples is Virgo 21, a galaxy located in the Virgo cluster. But here's the bizarre thing. When astronomers looked for its stars, they couldn't find any. The only clue that it even existed was the way it distorted the space around it with its gravity. It's like a cosmic phantom, something we know is there but can't actually see. And dark galaxies aren't just a rare phenomenon. Some studies suggest they could be more common than regular galaxies, meaning much of the universe could be filled with invisible ghost galaxies, drifting in the dark. But why do they exist, and what can they tell us about dark matter? One possibility is that these galaxies formed in regions where star formation never took off, leaving them as dark, empty shells. Another theory suggests that some may have started normally, but had their gas stolen by larger galaxies, effectively shutting them down. If dark galaxies truly outnumber luminous ones, it means our picture of the universe is incomplete. There's an entire hidden world out there lurking in the shadows just waiting to be discovered. The Great Attractor. Right now, as you're watching this, our entire galaxy is moving at an incredible speed of 1.3 million miles per hour. But here's the question: where are we going? And more importantly, why? Astronomers have discovered that the Milky Way, along with thousands of other galaxies in our region of space, is being pulled toward a mysterious unseen force known as the Great Attractor. It lies about 150 to 250 million light-years away, and it's so powerful that it's dragging entire galaxy clusters toward it. But here's the catch: we can't see it. The Great Attractor is hidden behind the zone of avoidance, an area obscured by our own galaxy's dense stars and dust, making it nearly impossible to observe directly. But even though we can't see what's there, its gravitational influence is undeniable. So what could be causing this massive pull? One idea is that it's a supercluster of galaxies far bigger than anything we've ever seen. Another theory suggests it could be something even more exotic, like a colossal structure of dark matter, bending space on a scale we can barely comprehend. Whatever it is, we're racing toward it at incomprehensible speeds, and we still don't fully understand why. Is the Great Attractor just another massive gravitational anomaly, or are we being drawn toward something far more mysterious lurking in the depths of space? The universe is full of mysteries, and the deeper we look, the more questions we uncover. Are we truly alone, or is something lurking in the cosmic dark? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey through space, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more mind-blowing content from InnoVision Tech. See you in the next one.